Yo, what's goody, y'all? It's your boy Cameron. I'm back with another reaction video. How you guys feeling? How you guys doing? How you guys day going? Comment down below. Let me know how you guys are feeling. Today we're gonna react to 62-year-old grandma met a convicted killer behind bars, married him in prison, then he strangled her to death during their conjugal visit. First and foremost, I want to start off by saying, make sure you rest in peace. My condolences go out to each and every one of our family members and anyone affected by the situation. No one deserves to go out like this, especially not in a way where you seem to be, an avoidable stage, meaning that you was going to go visit somebody to try to show love, or, just show an affection to someone that you were currently married to. So I want to start by saying, make sure you rest in peace. This is definitely a crazy situation. It says that she was a grandma. It seems like she was a grandmother of had grandkids at some point, and even had kids at some point. So it's a very sad situation. I don't want to speak too much on the situation because it doesn't give too many details on it. But let's get into the video and figure out what's going on. Before we get into this video, if you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe, hit the like button, turn on post notifications, and notified every time I post a video. Also, if you guys have any videos like from your social media sites in the description below, feel free to send them in and I react to them. With that being said, let's get right into this video.
I have doubts if I'm gonna post this because I look so bad. But if there's somebody out there and you've done a lot and you know you love people, you know you do, search your heart. Ask God to help you heal from whatever that is that's hurting you, because you have to love everybody. You have to truly love. And I think that if we fall in love with Jesus, really fall in love with him, the worst of enemies can't hurt us. I've seen people have testimonies where somebody killed their child and they prayed for that person's soul.
Good morning, everybody. It's me, Stevie. It's my birthday guest, and I just want to say thank you to everybody for all the wonderful text messages this morning and the birthday wishes on Facebook. I'm very excited about this day. I'm going to have a great day. In fact, this whole year has been the best year I've had consistently for 12 years. I'm so happy. So thank you for everything, and you guys have a great day too. Thanks. Bye.
This is the story of Stephanie Brinson, a 62-year-old grandmother who was strangled and killed while having an overnight conjugal visit with her convicted murderer husband at a California prison.
Oh, shit.
Her husband, David Brinson, who was convicted for killing 4 people in 19...
I got a question. I never knew that the conjugal visits could be overnight. I never knew that. I thought it was like for a couple hours, and that's it. Overnight, I never heard about it, I'm not gonna lie.
Husband at a California prison. A 62-year-old grandmother who was strangled and killed while having an overnight conjugal visit with her convicted murderer husband at a California prison. Her husband,
he was in there for
David
murder. That's
Brinson,
crazy.
who was convicted for killing 4 people in 1994, met her while he was in prison, married her, then killed her during a conjugal visit.
Listen to this. The death of a woman at a jail in Amador County while on a visit is now being investigated as a homicide. It happened last Wednesday at Mule Creek State Prison when 62-year-old Stephanie Diane Brinson was visiting her husband. He's an inmate there.
What led to this crime and what led this nice woman to a convicted killer? Let's find out.
Wait, did she meet him in there? Because it said she met...
I've seen people for everything.
Killed her during a strangled and killed while having an overnight...
Thanks. Bye.
This is the story of Stephanie Brinson, a 62-year-old grandmother who was strangled and killed while having an overnight conjugal visit with her convicted murderer husband at a California prison. Her husband, David Brinson, who was convicted for killing 4 people in 1994, met her while he was in prison, married her, then killed her during a conjugal...
See, and I don't want to bash her, because at the end of the day, she was going to do something positive for herself, look for love in somebody. But I'm a firm believer in history repeating itself. You feel what I'm saying? This dude was already in there for killing somebody. Not 1, not 3, 4 people. Convicted of killing 4 people. Now, I don't know what kind of person you are. I don't know you. So I don't want to speak too much on who you are, what you did. But to find yourself to meet somebody inside of a prison and marry them, I don't agree with. You feel what I'm saying? I don't think that was the smartest thing for you to do. Unfortunately, it cost you your life. So anyone out there watching this, I think you should be more cautious and careful who you're dealing with. Because if he's in there for that, there's no guarantee, there's no doubt in my mind that he would definitely do it again. You feel what I'm saying? So, damn, so it's sad, man. Make sure you rest in peace for real.
Let's find out.
the caddy. Happy birthday to me.
Hello and welcome to Twisted Crimes. Subscribe and hit the like button for more stories.
Hi, it's me, Stevie. Tomorrow's my birthday, and I got so many wonderful gifts. But this one was so exciting, I have to share it with you. This is now my favorite coffee mug. I call it the I mug because it's made by Apple. However, it
Apple got a
comes
mug?
with an app. You download an app. It's like a $100 mug, and I can control the temperature of my coffee all day long. So I'm real excited about that. That's like my favorite birthday gift. Anyway, thank you.
She's like a sweet person.
This story takes us to Oakland, California. Just 24 kilometers from San Francisco and an hour from the Napa and Sonoma wine regions, Oakland is a gateway to the rest of Northern California. Oakland, California, is where 62-year-old Stephanie Brinson called home.
Hello, social media. Hi, hey, everybody. This is Stevie D coming to you live from Harry Lee, located at 13420 Hawthorne Boulevard, Hawthorne, California. I just want to say I'm super excited about our new administrator. Yay! Thank you for everybody that applied. You were awesome. Everybody was amazing, but of course we could only choose one.
Stephanie was a woman of God who did many things. She loved to talk a lot about God.
I don't much like to do videos because I don't like the way I look in pictures. But this morning after my run, or during my run, I was talking to God and just saying how much pain I'm always feeling. And why do I have to go through so much? I realized, I'm a pretty happy person. I got a lot of great things going, but I suffer a lot of heartaches. And
She looked different with the black and gray hair. It looked like two different people, but that was her in the beginning of the video.
Else can attest that she might be a very giving person, and a lot of times you do a lot of wonderful things. But I've been praying for like 45, 50 days now, the same thing. And God told me that, my heart needs to be even softer. I was like, oh my God, I suffered hundreds of thousands of dollars in loss because my heart being soft, people walking over me doing things. What could you possibly be talking about? And I'm like, but there is something I harbor deep in my heart, kind of a little hatred for someone. And I've been praying and asking God, please take this away. Don't let me feel like this. And he said, I'm a God of my word, Stevie. He said, I truly love you, and I know your heart and that you love people. He said, but you have somebody that you hate, and that's my child. And I was like, God, but the wrong that was done. And he said, well, greater wrong has he done to my son. He said,
they always say, like, when someone does you wrong, you gotta forgive. But it's not forgiving for them, it's to forgive for yourself. Because, you walk around with that hate in your heart, it may cause you to do mean and bad things to people. And you may not notice it right there and then, but it does come to a point where you start doing shit that you don't want to feel, or, thinking about shit like, oh, damn, I shouldn't have did that. That's the point of forgiving. You know what I'm saying? It's not always for the other person. It's not always to, let the other person feel scot-free. It's also for you. You hold on to certain shit, hating people, being mad at people, that shit definitely takes a toll on you. So forgiving and not forgetting is definitely something that people should do a lot more often. Because, again, like I said, it does take a toll on when you try to keep reminding yourself of what somebody put you through or hating somebody for what they did. Nobody's perfect. Everybody makes mistakes. So it's either you're going to deal with the person and forgive them, or let them. It's either you deal with the person and deal with them accordingly, or you let them go and not deal with them again. That's that's the only two options you really have to do.
but he still loved you enough to save your soul. And I said, I understand, God, but I'm not him. I'm not Jesus. What do you want me to do? How can I get rid of this? And he said, you need to fall in love with Jesus. And I said, I love the Lord. He said, no, fall in love with Jesus. If you fall in love with Jesus, nothing can really hurt you like that. Nothing.
She was a mother and grandmother.
Damn.
Hey everybody, how are you? We are at the airport. I'm taking my granddaughters and my niece. Say hi, you guys. We're gonna go have some fun together for the next 4 days. We'll be back. Where are we going, Katie?
Las Vegas.
We're going to Las Vegas, and I don't know if you guys know this. Circus now has added on suites. They have an indoor water park. They have an indoor water park, and they have an indoor theme park with 25 rides. So we're gonna be there with my friend Helena and her grandkids, and this is some of their first time flying. So I think it's gonna be a lot of fun.
She's like a pretty happy, positive person, man. And it's always sad because these are the people that go through hardship. You know what I'm saying? People that's trying to be positive, happy, productive, kind, sweet. Those people that go through what they go through. So if you out there and you have a kind heart and you soft-hearted and you like to love people and take care of people, look out for those. Just be more cautious on who you're dealing with. You feel what I'm saying? Because you just never know what kind of how people may take you for granted. You may think that they're just trying to, not understanding, or you may feel like they're not fully getting what you're trying to help them with. But some people fully understand what you're doing and just rather take you for granted, and you may end up hurt behind it. So she's like a genuine person. It's sad that this had to happen to her.
Hi, Kyla! And then Mary Kay and Ricky are right over there.
I ain't gonna lie, she's pretty smart for a grandmother, though. I ain't gonna lie, because my grandmother at that age wouldn't even know how to touch that phone. Even use an iPhone, I know what kind of phone she got, but she clearly got some shit to know how to go live and record videos and shit. Because for sure my grandmother wasn't doing shit like that. For sure.
She loved everyone around her, and they loved her too.
Hey, it's that time again. Woo-hoo. Me and my son, my daughter-in-law. Good time, good time. Yummy. It was a great day. I enjoyed it so much. Now it's time for the fire. And,
She was a hairstylist and she loved doing hair for many people.
It's massive, girl. Somebody want to see what's really going on? I can't even get it all in the camera. Get this live thing, I'm so afraid, but I just want to floss my hair color. Hair color, cut was done by LJ. Color and curls and volume done by yours truly, Leslie. Thanks, Leslie.
She also loved helping people in the community by giving back in various ways she could.
Sorry. Hello. Hi, everybody. I hope I'm doing this right. I just wanted to take a moment to say thank you so much to everyone that donated, to the family, the mom and the 4 children. You guys, so amazing. Brought everything to the salon. We got everything from washcloths, sheets, blankets, to full furniture, couches, bedroom sets, just you name it, everything. The house is completely furnished. The kids are exciting. I don't know if everybody knew the story. There was brought to my attention a family that witnessed a murder. However, the family was homeless. So the police with Department of Social Services did put them in a place, so they're not on the streets anymore. However, they had absolutely nothing in the house. So Harry Lee helped me out, and we put word out on the street and through email, and we got plenty of donations. So I just want to thank everybody so much for your prayers. Those of you who didn't physically have anything to donate, thank you so much though anyway. Everybody have a wonderful, blessed day. Well, I'm not looking my best right now, but God needs to be glorified. So I'm sharing this message, whoever wants to hear it. I put out an email to all of our clients just asking to help us with getting a wheelchair for a person that was, a 95-year-old woman who was somewhat abused or neglected, more so. Not abused, but neglected. And she needs a wheelchair to be able to get to the doctor and everything. And I put out an email, and within less than 15 minutes, 2 wheelchairs, got an electric one and a regular one. God is so good, and he deserves all the glory and honor. And I'm so, so grateful for what he does. I love our clientele. They're amazing.
Stephanie was also a very active lady who took her health very serious.
Okay. Riding a bike. We're getting ready to turn it in, though. It's beautiful out here. Are you back there?
I ain't gonna lie,
BJ?
Grandma was active, boy, I tell you.
I was trying to
Games,
see if I can
riding
see
bike,
you.
runs, working out.
Hey, I just got the message from this morning
Donating.
that Dee Dee said if we do 25 jumping jacks and post it on our page, post it on the challenge page, and then tag a couple of friends, we could get 3 tickets added to a pot that gives us a chance at getting $50. And since I've been lucky a few times, I think I'm going to try it again. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, my grandmother ain't definitely doing that. I don't keep it being with y'all.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 before bedtime.
Whenever she is not doing anything, she tried living her life to the fullest.
Hi, I'm here at the Playboy Jazz Festival. I'm the first one of all my clan to arrive. Yep, nobody's here yet. I got a great seat. I'm excited, and I'll be checking in a little later.
She went out doing a lot of things that made her happy.
Here we go. Hey, I'm at Rams training day, ready to go.
That's sad, bro. She wasn't out hurting nobody, harming
And this
nobody.
is just the beginning. You know how I do
It's
it.
crazy.
In every aspect of life, she seemed grounded until she met someone by the name of David Brinson. David Brinson is a 54-year-old man who had been convicted of killing 4 people in 1994. He never showed remorse for the people he killed. He was sentenced to life in prison at Mule Creek State Prison for those crimes. According to CDCR, Brinson was sentenced in Los Angeles County in 1994 for first-degree murder and is serving 4 life sentences without the possibility of parole.
So my thing is, him being convicted of that, how was he even allowed to have conjugal visits? You feel what I'm saying? Marriage or not marriage, how was he allowed to have that? This dude was already out on ramp, you know what I'm saying, wild and killing people, taking people from their loved ones already. Y'all gonna give him another chance to do it to somebody else? That's crazy.
Los Angeles Times reported that Brinson shot and killed 4 men execution style during a
shit.
robbery at an LA apartment. Somehow, David and Stephanie crossed path and started talking online. They talked about the Word of God and a host of other things. Even though her family was against it, she went ahead to marry David, a man who was never going to get out of prison. Sometimes
And that'd be the worst, bro. I ain't gonna lie, when I elderly, I want to say elders, whether it doesn't matter family member or not, like not family member or not, but like just elders that you love, your elder loved ones, like you see from a mile away that certain situations is not good for them. You feel what I'm saying? And them saying that they didn't agree with it tells you already that they seen already that this is not a good situation. Marrying somebody in jail, and it's not like she met him outside and stayed with him. She met him in jail. You feel what I'm saying? That whole situation disgraces me. There's no reason why she should have married somebody of that magnitude, being in jail already for 4 life sentences, marrying them. Like that's crazy to me.
Of 2024, Stephanie went to the prison for a conjugal visit as she had done in the past. But on this day, at an LA apartment, somehow, David and Stephanie crossed path and started talking online. They talked about the Word of God and a host of other things. Even though her family was against it, she went ahead to marry David, a man who was never going to get out of prison. Sometimes in November of 2024, Stephanie went to the prison for a conjugal visit as she had done in the past. But on this day, shortly after 2 a.m., inmate David Brinson used a family visit phone to report that his wife had passed out during her visit. Despite immediate life-saving measures by prison staff and responding paramedics, Stephanie Brinson was pronounced dead before 3 a.m. Her family were wary of their loved one's death, and lo and behold, 4 months later, the Amador County coroner told the family that Stephanie was strangled, and her death had been ruled a homicide.
A notorious LA killer serving life in prison without the possibility of parole reportedly strangled his wife to death during a conjugal visit. 54-year-old David Brinson was convicted in the 1990 execution-style murders of 4 men in the Mid-Wilshire district. Authorities say last November, while at Mule Creek State Prison in Northern California, he told officers his 62-year-old wife, Stephanie, had passed out during a conjugal visit. She was declared dead at the scene. 4 months later, a coroner confirmed that she was strangled to death. The Amador County District Attorney is awaiting the prison's full report before filing charges against Brinson. Brinson has since been transferred to a state prison in Stockton.
They demanded answers and asked for strict measures to be put in place by the prison authorities.
We spoke with the victim's family, and they're demanding answers. They want to know why an inmate with such a violent history like this was allowed to have unsupervised visits in the first
dead
place.
ass.
The most giving, kind-hearted person.
62-year-old Stephanie Dowles was always trying to help others. Her mother, Ovita Wilson, says,
I would often tell my sweetheart, you can't save the world.
Dowles was a mother herself to 2 sons, grandmother to 6. She was a hairstylist and a small business owner in the Los Angeles area, known to her family as Stevie. We spoke to them on Zoom.
Stevie was literally the glue that held the family together.
That's her
Making her
mom.
loss
That's crazy.
all the more difficult.
We were just devastated.
Dowles died during an overnight visit with an inmate at Mule Creek State Prison in Ione just before 3 a.m. last November. Now, 4 months later, the Amador County coroner confirmed her family's fears, finding the death was a homicide.
I want to touch back on something real quick, because her mother said that you can't save everybody. You feel what I'm saying?
Torres says,
and based off what she was saying, like I'm not gonna say based off what she was giving off, you could kind of tell that she was the person that wants to help everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Trying to save people, trying to help everybody in every situation. You can't save everybody. You feel what I'm saying? Everybody's gonna do what they want to do. You either again, like I said prior, see and try to work with the person, or leave the person alone and let them do what they want to do. But you can't save everybody. And I'm not gonna lie, I fall victim to that a lot, where I put a lot of other people's stress on my shoulders to try to save and help everyone. But you can't do that. You feel what I'm saying? You putting yourself in a predicament where you don't have to be in. Your stress levels is high. You're making yourself go through shit that you don't have to go through. So I definitely feel that when it comes down to that aspect. But again, you cannot save everybody. Something even like I said before, I'm learning myself to understand, like, you can't save everybody. You feel me? You can't save everybody. People gonna do what they want to do. No matter how much you feel like it's wrong, the right, whatever the case may be, you can't save everybody. Just like she decides to go to that prison and marry that dude, you can't save everybody. I'm sure her family told her a million times, don't do it. Don't waste your time. Don't do it. Don't do it. But she felt like she wanted to do it. So again, you can't save everybody. So that definitely, so I definitely feel that as well. Where it's like, damn, she's really trying to just help, trying to help this dude go through his go through. You feel what I'm saying? Some people go through what they go through, change, but it's not the same thing for everybody. You did it once, I'm a strong believer in, you're gonna do it again. So that definitely sucks.
the prison should be determinate sentence.
Be this better person.
But coroner confirmed her family's fears, finding the death was a homicide. The coroner says she was strangled.
How could they just, let this happen and just don't get it?
Armand Torres says the prison should be held accountable. He says his mom was visiting her husband, David Brinson, there.
They would read the Bible together. He was in school in there. She was pushing him to try to be this better person.
See?
But Brinson is serving 4 consecutive life terms with a 20-year determinate sentence on top of that, without the possibility of parole. All after his 1993...
Like, he shouldn't have been allowed to be able to get in contact with her outside the prison. He did what he did. It not again, like if it was one person with accident, robbery going wrong, whatever, cool. But 4 people? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way she's been allowed to contact her.
My mom was just left alone, and she, called for help, I'm sure. And there's nothing she could do.
Officials say the criminal investigation is still underway. So as of now, no one's been charged with Dowell's murder. But it happened during a family visit, which the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation website describes as a visit in private apartment-like facilities on prison grounds that can last approximately 30 to 40 hours.
He shouldn't have access to that.
It was just after 2 a.m. on November 13th when CDC.
That's what people that's sitting there for like 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, even 15 years that they want to see their family. They out on less strenuous crimes, robbery, possession, attempt, shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? But murder of 4 people, that's not a privilege that dude should have had. Ain't no way.
Used the phone in that apartment-like facility to tell officers his wife had passed out.
Given the history that this guy has, we kind of just, wanted to know how is it even, possible for them to be unsupervised.
The CDCR website shows inmates blocked from those privileges are limited to those on death row, those convicted of sex offenses, those going through the reception process upon arrival to a prison, or anyone under disciplinary restrictions. There's no mention of multiple murder convictions.
That's crazy.
Do you think like that policy should change moving
forward? For sure.
It has to. There has to be something.
For sure.
Something has to be done because it's not fair.
CDCR says inmates have to meet strict criteria for these family visits, like sustained good behavior, for example. And they say the visits are meant to support family connection and rehabilitation. And Dowell's family did say that she had visited Brinson several times before this, and those visits seem to have gone well. So they say at the time they didn't really think much of it, like they now believe they probably should have.
It's not sure why or how Stephanie got drawn to him in the first place. It has to be because she had a good heart and saw good in others.
That's it.
Unfortunately, this was what led to her death. Her kindness was what led to her death. What do you guys think about this story? Would that have been a no-go area? Or you can always give people a second chance. Our sincere condolences to the friends and families of Stephanie Brinson. May her soul continue to rest in peace. Please stay safe out there, and we shall see you guys in the next video.
Hey, look, man, she rests in peace to her kind-hearted soul. You feel what I'm saying? My condolences again go out to her family and anyone affected by the situation, because it's a sad way to go out. You can't, like, it's hard to say the family should have stopped her, because at the end of the day, like I said before, it's hard to tell somebody what they can and cannot do. People are gonna do what they want to do regardless, and I'm a victim of that. Well, I try to tell my siblings, yo, don't do that, and I'm telling y'all, like, when I say piss me off, like, it gets me so tight that it's like, now my day's ruined because I told you not to do something, you did it anyways, and now you got to learn the punishment behind it. You feel what I'm saying? But you can't live your life like that. Mama gonna be mama, daddy gonna be dad, grandma gonna be grandma, grandson gonna be grandson, nephew gonna be nephew. When you have like strict supervision of an individual, then I say you have more control or leeway of feeling a way about what they're doing, because they fall under your responsibility. But your parents, bro, they're gonna do what they want to do, bro. You feel what I'm saying? They're gonna treat who they want to treat. They're gonna talk to whoever they want to talk to, and you have no self-control, because at the end of the day, you have your own life to live. You feel what I'm saying? But all I can say is, for those out there that are, dealing with the same thing, or thinking about doing the same thing, don't do it, bro. You feel me? These people are in jail for a reason, not for no reason, especially with his background, lengthy background. I don't know if she knew why he was in there, what he was in there for, or the extent of what he did, but even still, they shouldn't have been able to get in contact, especially with the jail knowing what his history was. There's no reason why he should have been able to get in contact with anybody on the outside, speak to anybody on the outside. At the end of the day, people do change. Yes, they do. But my brother, you made a decision and landed you where you are, so you need to stay there and deal with your consequences behind your actions, because that's your decision landed you there. There should have been no reason why they should have been in contact with each other. But again, like they said before, her kind-heartedness, trying to look out for people, trying to help people go through what they go through, trying to save people. You can't save anybody. That's what God is for. You can't save anybody. As much as you want to try to help, prevent, or anything like that, all you could do is advise people, advise and leave, let the pieces fall where they may. You can't control anybody. So it sucks that she had to go out that way. Make sure you rest in peace. For the family, I know it's more even harder, because the dude's already in jail for murder. What more can he get? The death row? Like, that's not going to solve anything. To me, it's not. This woman was such a good person, and they showed plenty of videos and content of her, helping people out, working out, giving advice, speaking to God, celebrating her birthdays and shit like that. She was a good person, and nobody had nothing bad to say about it. So it's like, it really sucks the fact that, like, what's the outcome of these actions, or what more deeper punishment can he get? He already served full life sentences. This shit definitely sucks. So again, my condolences go out to her family, her sons, her grandkids, because I know they're definitely gonna feel it. She had to be a good grandma, being that she was taking them out to trips and shit like that, going out, helping them, not helping them, but sharing them, exploring the world together, showing them different experiences and shit like that, things that other kids are less fortunate to have. So make sure you rest in peace again. Stay kind. Everyone out there, be more careful who you deal with, especially dealing with people in jail. I know people do it all the time. Don't deal with them people, bro. You know what I'm saying? Get the full extent of their history. Know what they did. Go deep into knowing what happened and why they landed up there. Don't just give in and say, oh, I like this person, I'm gonna help this person, and fall into leading with being blind. So again, make sure you rest in peace, and just be more safe and cautious out there who you're dealing with. Be more mindful and understand that you cannot control anybody. People are gonna do what they want to do, And that's that. That's the end of the video. We should like, comment, subscribe, what you guys think in the comment section below. You guys watch this video, and until next time, I'll see y'all.